What should we expect from Nico in the bowl game? You can give me a stat line. You can give me any adjective you want, whatever you would like to offer up, Caleb. I will take that from you. You tell me, what should we expect out of Nico in the Citrus Bowl, which will be his first real meaningful playing time as a college football player? What say you?
We should expect a massive splash to start Nico's career. Such a splash that, as I wrote yesterday, you will be talking about his Heisman hype throughout the entire offseason. And the reason I say that is because there was a perception out there that Iowa's defense is great because every one of their games this year didn't go over 40 points. I mean, most of them were in the 20s, the total scores. I'm here to tell you that defense is massively overrated. Like, massively. Iowa had a period this year, Dave, where they played 5 straight teams whose scoring offenses were outside of the top 100. So they haven't played any offenses all year. They didn't play one top 70 Power 5 passing offense this year. So they haven't been tested at all by any respectable passing game. And here comes a reinvigorated team with a quarterback that is perfectly fit to run one of the most quarterback-friendly systems in college football. I think Iowa should be absolutely terrified. I think you guys should expect a 300-yard, 4-touchdown game from Nico. I think, and here's the big part about this. Because the perception...
Passing only, or...
Just passing. Throwing for 300 yards. There's not going to be much running. It's going to be a little different. Iowa does play... You hate to say this for slow teams, but it is true. They are a slow defense, but they play fundamentally sound defense. So they actually will be pretty good at stopping the run and things like that. But Dave, as you know, with Josh Heupel's offense, the problem with fundamentally sound but slow defenses, Josh Heupel spreads you out so much. You either have to be fast on the outside or you have to be powerful in the middle, don't you? You can't just be fundamentally sound and in position.
No, and I think the speed difference is going to factor into this. The one thing that I would caution, and it has nothing to do with Nico, who I think is going to play well, great. So I want to stick to that topic. I think that there is an opportunity for Tennessee secondary to give up a big play to keep this somewhat close. As far as the number shifting, I will tell you this, and I don't gamble. I think that's easy money. Tennessee is a better football team because Nico will start as long as there's not an injury at the quarterback position than they were before this announcement was made. So that's easy money. And the over-under moved as well. So I want to get to that. But I think being in control, to me, is the big difference. And you're going to see a guy go out there even better than Hooker, even better than Milton, and in his opening game, be in control. Like Andy Mason is in control of your best needs and wants when it comes to real estate. AndyMasonRealEstate.com, over 40 years of experience, best prices, best service in the biz. That's AndyMasonRealEstate.com. So I believe that he can handle that. I believe he can control the situation. So I think that's a step in the right direction.
Dave, we're called off the hook. Let's go off the hook with our takes. Come on. What you got to go bold, bro. Go bold on Nico. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, I think he'll I think they'll want to make a statement with Nico. I think to go out there and play and go 18 of 26 would be great. 16 of 26 would be great, but I think they'll want to make a statement. They'll want to throw the ball more than that and try to go 22 of 34 for about 3 1/4 with 3 touchdowns. I think that's what they'll shoot for. And I think that
similar to mine then.
Yeah, and I think that Josh Heupel's a little bit easier to pick, quite frankly, because he keeps track of the scores and he keeps track of the points and what his quarterback is able to do. So I think it's a factor. Hit that like and subscribe button. I got no problem with it. Deion Sanders back in the day would tell you he's going to take it to the house, and what he do? He took it to the house. Now, he's not taking players to Colorado as much as he thought he would, but he's still doing a good job. But yeah, I think Josh Heupel likes to keep track of the scores and how many times his guys do well in his offense, don't you?
Oh, I absolutely do, which is why this is going to happen. And Josh Heupel, he wants a Heisman winner as much as anybody. Dave, what's it going to do for Nico's Heisman odds if Nico goes and balls out against an Iowa team that is way overrated, but people think is good defensively? The narrative is going to be that he torched a top 10 defense, isn't it? That's going to be the narrative the whole offseason.
So we're extending this to narrative outside of just the Citrus Bowl. Are we going there? We can go there.
I'm just saying, yeah, we could go there for this. I'm just saying in general,
because
I expect Nico to destroy Iowa because I think Iowa's overrated. I think the narrative will be that he destroyed a top 10 defense, even though it's not really a top 10 defense.
I agree with both of those things. I think it sets up perfectly for Nico because I looked at their defense too, and I think they're a little overrated. And I looked at who they played, and like the top scoring offense was like 26, and there were a lot of 107.
And that was a group of 5 offense, by the way.
Do I think that Nico is going to go out there and look fantastic? Yes, Caleb, I do. But it sounds like I'm rubbing salt in the wound because I thought he should have played in the first place. I almost would rather be wrong on this one because I've been so just darn right. It hurts to be that right that long. I mean, it's been a long time.
Yeah, you are right.
Milton calling a players meeting in August. Come on.
I still don't think it was the wrong decision to go with Joe Milton the whole year. You kept the locker room together, and you have Nico coming in about ready to ball out. Look, even with Nico, this team wasn't going to compete for a title this year.
I'd go with him too, but I'm just telling you that at that point he's trying to assert his leadership capabilities, and oftentimes those that are trying to assert it as a senior don't have them.
I understand that, but Joe Milton did have the locker room, and you kept the locker room together this year. So things went the way. Look, things did not go exactly how Tennessee fans wanted them to go. They didn't fall off. They didn't collapse, though. Okay, it was 8-4.
Actually, in all fairness, let's completely twist it because I think we can do that. Some people aren't that talented. Some hosts I know aren't that talented. We are. Let's twist it on its head. He got 20 pounds. Josh Heupel got 20 pounds on Nico. He got him a lot more first team reps than the average freshman gets. He had Joe Milton ready to play, who would have at least won 3 games, if not for a Cooper Mays injury, or lost only 3 games, would have won 1 more game. Sorry, I said that backwards. I've eaten a lot of sweets over Christmas. So, and then lastly, you get Milton to debut in the last game of the season that gets the most theoretical attention. Nico to debut. I mean,
it's a perfect setup.
Did he luck into this, or did he have this figured out?
I don't know if he lucked into it, but I do think he planned the whole time for Joe Milton to be a transition, while mainly what you just said, he wanted to put the weight on Nico and get him more first-team reps so he's ready to go. And look, the little I saw with Nico, and I know it was mop-up duty, but man, Dave, there was so much more decisiveness there, wasn't there, for a quarterback with the little you saw of him?
Travis, who I love, said, I bet Dave's mortgage first play is a run. I'll bet my mortgage first play is chucking it over 30 yards downfield. Do you want to bet on that?
Also, personnel. Tennessee, I know Josh Heupel's offense is dependent on running the ball, so teams have to cheat in so they can get those one-on-one matchups. Iowa's corners and secondary. I don't want to go here, but they don't look that fast.
I hear you talking about screen passes. Let me just tell you this. That was done because Joe Milton, they were afraid to throw over the middle and the ball to get tipped and be an interception. I mean, listen, when Joe Milton came to them and said, hey, guys, I'm thinking about going to the NFL, they go, okay, take the screen playbook with you. Because, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be part of Tennessee's game plan, but just like 2022, they run it every once in a while to stay balanced and push people around because they got good blocking wide receivers. It's not going to be like it was last year. I just think it completely changed everything, and that's all I got to say about that. But I'll tell you that
Nico is better than Nico will immediately be better than even Hendon Hooker was. Heard it here first.
Say that again and why. Brought to you by Campbell, Cunningham, Taylor, and Haun. Does Caleb see better after that statement? He hasn't had the LASIK yet. I have. No contacts, no glasses. I love it. Enjoy life better when you see better. Local vision service for LASIK surgery and regular eye examination. ccteyes.com. He's going to be better when he steps on the field. This Nico cat in 2024, or you say in the bowl game, than Hendon Hooker was stepping on the field as the returning starter in the beginning of 2022. Is that what you are telling me? Is that what you just laid on the floor? Because wow, that's a lot. Just telling you, that's a lot. And I love you, Caleb.
Hey now.
Yes. 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 Nico,
Okay.
Hendon Hooker, Dave, you and I both know this. Hooker had a slight issue with deep ball accuracy. He connected on a few, but he missed on a few too, did he not?
Yes. Yeah.
Nico's never going to miss on those deep balls. I watched his deep ball accuracy in high school.
And okay, let's say he's going to be 40%. 40% is huge. I think Hendon was 30. I think Joe was 15 over 20.
I think Nico will be 50 to 60% on him. He has the prettiest deep ball of any quarterback I've ever seen coming out of high school. So
then at that point, you're the Rams that beat that soft Titan teams back in that soft Titans.
What? Soft? Give me soft Titans. If Jeff Fisher and Mike Heimerdinger, rest in peace, but if they didn't think that, hey, maybe we should throw a pass in the end zone just in case football IQ, let's throw a pass short of the end zone and risk him getting tackled and the clock running out when we have no timeouts. Don't get me started on that. That team was tough. They had Javon Curse. Ask Peyton Manning about how soft Javon Curse is.
That was Milton, like the decision to call that or make that throw, whichever the case may be.